Welcome to Wednesday's Market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. My name is Wiz. Legal name is Matthew Buckley. Had a great morning so far. Met with our newest lifetime member. Welcome aboard, Fish. He's in town early along with a couple other folks from Top Gun Options because we have our Boca Trader Conference this Saturday here in God's Waiting Room. If you're interested in attending, last minute, we can squeeze you in. You head to bocatradersconference.com. And we'll have a nice VIP party after the full day of speakers. Going to be a blast, and I love when lifetime members come bearing gifts. So I appreciate the Don Julio and also the bourbon. So obviously I didn't. It was before noon, so I didn't imbibe yet. But we'll save these for the VIP party Saturday night. So thanks, Fish, and welcome aboard with the lifetime membership. Wow, what a difference a couple days make, folks. It Dow's up nearly 200 points as the world was melting and coming unglued Monday afternoon. And the big sell-off, what did I do? Right about here, I got short volatility. We sold a bear call spread, a VXX bear call spread that I think right now is at its max profit of about $2,200. So $2,200 in 2.5 days ain't too shabby. And as we predicted, we're going to bounce. We bounced off this 50-day moving average with a little bit of airspeed. We predicted that. We predicted this, and we're gonna grind higher here, folks. But there's a lot of strategic issues going on. First thing I'm thrilled about is the Supreme Court victories just keep coming in. Today, they ruled that hey, if you're not in a union, you shouldn't have to be forced to pay union dues. A lot of these rulings recently, folks, especially the one yesterday on the president's immigration orders, they're almost like duh. This is why our court system sucks in this country, is because it gets clogged with stupid things. The president is full within his legal responsibilities to do what he did. And then today the whole, hey man, if you ain't in a union, don't be forced to pay union dues to go support candidates that you don't like. That's another duh ruling. So I'm thrilled with the Supreme Court and what's going on, especially because Trump in his 2 terms, you heard me, is going to get to a point, I think, and I'm not joking, I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead, and they just kind of weekend at Bernie's her and wheel her in every once in a while to make it look like she's alive. And Kennedy's got to be going too. So Trump's going to get 2 more Supreme Court picks easily, and he's also stocking the federal bench, which is great to hear. Anyway, so I'm happy about that union ruling today. I predicted this, folks, China implosion. Take a look at what FXI is doing. Even this week, I said I would pound this into the dirt with a bearish double vertical, and it's down another 1.5% today. Right here, I said to get bearish on FXI, pound it with some bearish double verticals, and people have been printing money on this. There is no bottom in sight right now for the FXI. We're at, what is that, 2 year, that's 1 year low, a year and a half low here on FXI, and this is going lower. So you want a good bearish trade, and maybe we'll talk about this in accelerated retirement. We have our accelerated retirement brief at 1 o'clock. But Shanghai stocks are in a bear market, piling on the gloom in China. Now, the story that caused the sell-off Monday has been walked back. So the president was going to use some executive action to go after Chinese investment, and then kind of walked it back and said, hey, there's a, what is it, 1988, 1989 law that he's just going to blow the dust off of and enforce. But this is interesting because one of the reasons I knew to step in and sell volatility on that huge spike on Monday was what? This report, right around here, Steve Mnuchin came out and said, I don't know where the Wall Street Journal or Bloomberg got their source, but the source is either made up or they don't know what they're talking about. It's simply not true. So Mnuchin, unfortunate market, got mixed message. CFIUS won't target China specifically. So it's kind of like the market is breathing a sigh of relief, but I knew that on Monday afternoon. I knew, well, why didn't you listen to the Treasury Secretary? He says this is simply not true, and the market should not have reacted the way it did. But then you see a headline like this. Stocks drop, dollar spikes after Kudlow says Trump not retreating on China. So yeah, Steve, it's almost like Steve Mnuchin and Larry Kudlow are going good cop, bad cop, right? Mnuchin saying, no, everything's fine, you know, we're going to be adults. And it looks like Larry Kudlow's being bad cop today. So you can be forgiven for being a little confused as to what's going on with China and the potential trade wars. So oil's getting a rally. We'll talk about that at 1 o'clock as well. The United States said yesterday, hey man, any country, Europe, France, England, all our, quote, European allies, talking to you, any country that imports Iranian oil after November risks sanctions themselves. I'm shocked, and the president no. Listen to this, folks. It's against the United Nations sanctions, which are going to go back into effect, or actually the United States sanctions. If you break them, there's consequences. It's funny as hell, whether it's the illegal immigrant situation. Oh my God, you mean if I come to this country illegally with my kids, I can be separated from them? You're no different than any other criminal in America. If I go rob a bank today, you can be damn sure I'm going to be separated from my kids. And I had a post on Facebook yesterday. I'm furious about this. Did you see this? A veteran lit himself on fire in front of the Georgia Capitol to protest the VA. I said, meanwhile, illegal immigrants, you ready for this, folks? Illegal immigrants are going to be housed on military bases. So we have veterans dying or killing themselves waiting for care, and we have illegal immigrants who are going to be housed on actual military bases. If you think illegal immigrants deserve better treatment than our veterans, please defriend or block me. We were never friends. It's disgusting the way we treat our veterans, and then when we treat people who show here illegally and just kind of demand everything. So oil, last time I looked before I jumped on the air here, was up at around 73 bucks. So nice little surge in oil, but I got to be honest with you, I'd sell into this pop. I think we sold a bear call spread yesterday, or looked to sell it on this oil pop. Why? Because I get it that Libya or the Iran, there's a lot of saber rattling, but at the end of the day, Saudi Arabia said, "I got you, fam. Don't worry about Iran. If Iran can't produce oil, we will open our spigots. We will pick up any slack." So this is really. This is a big Saudi FU to the Iranians. Like, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll cover any production loss from Iran. Oof. Those are fighting words, folks. If you don't know the history of World War II and why the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, 3 letters. Begins with an O, ends with an L. Oil. So stocks are climbing. The energy sector's lifting us higher here. As I predicted, this was not the big one. This was not the Fred Sanford clutch your chest, I'm coming, Elizabeth. I said we would bounce off the 50, and we did. We also predicted this as well. I said this would look exactly like this. The biggest fear, though, guys, is actually Q2 earnings. Okay, I think even if we blow the doors off of it like we did with Q1 earnings, the market shrugged. Here was the Q1 earnings rally all the way back here. It was in January. So we pulled forward a lot of this good news and euphoria, so I think we're going to see a blue-collar market climb here. I can't even believe we're seeing these numbers. The Atlanta Fed came out today with a GDP growth forecast, and it eased it. It pulled it back from 4.7 to a paltry 4.5. Are you kidding me? Barack Hussein Obama would have given his right arm, or actually all of our right arms, for a GDP print of 3. 4.5% under this president. Remember the Obama campaigning, and what's Trump going to do? Wave a magic wand? Abracadabra, dude. Yeah, this is how you run a country and a government. You run it like a business, man. If it ain't profitable, you get rid of it. This was pretty funny. This was a sleeper story. Google and Facebook are quietly fighting California's privacy rights initiative. Some emails have revealed. So these limousine liberals up in the Bay Area, who claim to be liberals, are fighting privacy rights. I'm telling you, folks, the chicken's going to come home to roost with a lot of these companies. I get they're the biggest Death Stars out there, and what are you going to use? Bing, or if you want to be on social media, what are you going to use? I don't know, MySpace. I get it, but when regulation comes, it's going to come down swift and hard. Looks like the banks may have broken their losing streak, but we talked yesterday. It's just time to bail out of the Morgan Stanleys and JP Morgans. It's just kind of dead money, and put them in Visa. I target that firepower in Visa. Just like my April call to get out of Facebook and Apple and get an Amazon was epic. This is going to be as epic. Get rid of the dead money in Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan and get into Visa. Okay. All right, I got to get going. We have accelerated retirement today at 1 o'clock. If you're hearing this for the first time and you want to take a test flight into any of our services here at Top Gun Options, simply head to topgunoptions.com, and you can scroll down and take a look at the 3 trials we have: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Okay, so have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.